company coming over in about 45 minutes to about 50 minutes. So I am going to keep this short. I'm only going to pull a single basis of light order just to get a feel of energy. Clearing the deck. Okay, and hi, Jason. Okay, let's see. What is the energy I am pulling in here? What is the message? What little bit of wisdom is there for you today? Okay. Oh, yay. We're going to talk about joy. Woo-hoo. Okay, so I've been saying this like all day. I have been feeling the energy of the Fool card, which in a lot of cases, it is seen as new beginnings. It is also innocence, and I absolutely love the innocence part of it because in innocence, we find childlike joy. Okay, and this is exactly what it is. This is the timelessness and the dance, the joyful dance of life. Okay, so I made a joke like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. My children rolled their eyes. They're like, that was like worse than a dad joke. I was like, your soul wants to have a little joy. Better get on it before you get fungry. So, what kind of joy are we bringing into this space? Okay. Okay. Okay, what is the current energy? This is like the third or fourth reading I've done today. That one wanted to pop out. Ooh, Ace of Swords in reverse. I guess we're not starting out with the joy. There's a little bit of confusion and doubt. So there's something in your energy right now that's causing you confusion. There is something in your energy that is causing you doubt. Hi, honey. Okay, so what has led to this Ace of Swords in the reverse? What is causing the confusion or doubt? There's also possibly an energy of dishonesty. Can we get a clarification on this Ace of Swords in reverse before we move into the what is causing it? Oh, that like flew out. Okay. So, interestingly enough, hello. The Strength card came out. So the Strength card is not just about strength, it is also about courage, but it is also about compassion. One of the things I like to point out when I see this particular card is this lion is very obviously, hello, growling or roaring at this snake here. But if you see, oh, okay, this makes a little more sense now. Okay, so if you see, she looks like she's telling the lion, calm down, okay? Peace. So it takes emotional strength to find compassion. So this makes more sense, okay? So there is confusion because You've been lied to. There has been a lie. Hi, how are you, Giovanni? Okay, so I would absolutely love to know, is the confusion in the fact that you have compassion, or there is compassion, or are you doubting your own strength? So let's look into this, because that you have the strength there. So what is the confusion caused by? A loss of balance. It's taking a lot of strength. I love the fact that both of these cards have the infinity symbol on them. I love the fact that both of them have the infinity symbol on them. This is absolutely wonderful. Because the infinity symbol is our journey through existence, okay? So as we go through life, the center of the infinity symbol is God, okay? As we journey through life, we go out and we go further and further away from God, but then we come back in and we return to God. Then we go out the other direction, go further and further away from God and come back in. These are our lessons, our karmic lessons. They are our journey around the sun, if you will. We go out, we learn what it's like to be out of the light. This is because when you're the furthest away from the light. And then we come back in and we find the light again. And then we journey back out and find the darkness. And then we come back in. So this confusion or these lies are throwing you off balance. But you have the strength and the courage and the compassion. Compassion is extremely important, okay? To understand that this is a part of the other person's journey. We cannot judge. We all have journeyed to the darkness. It is when we learn to come back in and center on that love that we are able to find the balance. This is why compassion is so important. Because if we harbor anger, bitterness, hate, jealousy, this takes us away from the light. This takes us away from our own center. And it throws us out of balance. Okay, 3 more cards came out. And I'm feeling that this is the energy of why we ended up in this. Okay, so we have the 2 of Swords in the reverse. And it makes sense. So it feels like you feel like you have lost your sense of peace. Maybe you feel a little helpless. But the sense of peace is gone. You are no longer in balance. So the sense of peace is leading to the imbalance, okay? This is being stuck in a situation, the 6 of Swords in the reverse. This is not leaving a situation, okay? But this makes sense too. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles I like to call the scout. You're doing your research. You're figuring it all out, but it's throwing you out of whack because this is probably something you didn't expect. This is probably something, it feels as though there was a lot of trust. And that Strength card is definitely compassion. It feels almost as though someone took advantage of your compassion. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what is the future energy. Let's go ahead and go for the next 24 to 48 hours, be a little more specific this time. What is the future energy for the next 24 to 48 hours? What was it that they need to know? I totally left my drink over there. What is it that they need to know? I'm feeling a very turbulent energy. It's very turbulent. It feels very nervous. Okay, this is the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles has all four elements on it, okay? So this is harnessing all of your own powers, but making sure that this is the person who has their resources. This is a person who is recognizing the need to protect those resources. So I feel like it's connected to this confusion. The desire to protect that which is yours, or that which you feel is yours. What else is in the next 24 to 48 hours? What other energy is coming in? What other energy is coming in? By the way, guys, I am using the Heaven and Earth Tarot, Jack Sephiroth and Jamie Elford, and then I use the Priestess of Light Oracle, Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. I have another deck. I'm still growing my little library. I had others. They were all oracles. So I am building up my library, and the other tarot deck that I have is a non-traditional tarot, and I have not quite learned the energy of that because it's not quite the same. Okay, so the Princess of Wands is here. This is in your future energy. This is a growing energy. This is I am finding myself kind of energy, which is awesome because, like I said, I've been feeling the new beginnings energy today. I absolutely love her outfit. Like, she's got this like bikini top that's like, you can't really tell in the picture there from that far away, but it looks like it's made from chainmail. It's amazing. Oh, okay. And what is the advice? How do we get into this energy? What is it that they need to know? What do you mean? No good energy? Oh. Oh. What makes it a black art, may I ask? Oh, here we go. The uncovering of the secrets. So the very first card was, of course, the Ace of Swords in the reverse, right? So that means there's this confusion and doubt because the Ace of Swords in the upright position means that the truth is coming out. So as of right now, the truth hasn't come out. The moon, especially the full moon. The full moon is when we can see the shadows the best. The full moon is when we can see that which is truly around us. And In this particular deck, I love the imagery in this deck. Okay, so the full moon is between the two towers. Okay, and in this moon is the face of a woman. Okay, if you like the imagery of Luna and you like to think of the moon as feminine, this is her watching out for you. This is her illuminating that which is in the shadows that you do not understand. So this is the energy that is coming in. The energy that is coming in is that the secrets will be revealed. That which is in the shadows will come to light. I actually did a video about that like 2 days ago. It's a channeled message. All that is done in the dark will be revealed in the light, okay? And this is a very, very bright moon. I mean, there are rays coming off of this moon. So whatever is coming out feels big, feels really big. That's wonderful. Okay, what is the current energy? Let's go back to the current energy right now. Yeah. So again, let's go back to this feeling of the current energy. There's confusion, but you're being strong, even in the face of the imbalance and the feeling of losing your peace and feeling stuck. But you are doing your research. You are being cautious and entering into a situation cautiously without rushing in head first. There is, no need to rush. Okay, we have the Lovers in the reverse, so that's where the confusion is. There is a feeling of this is the major arcana for the Lovers. And with it being in the reverse, there's things that come out in this card that are more noticeable. So there is a snake wrapped around the tree that is bearing fruit. Okay? This tree has fruit. There's a snake reaching for these lovers. Okay? This other tree is on fire. Okay, this I would consider as the coming together in balance. Okay, this is divinely guided. However, being in the reverse, this feels like either an ex-lover or someone who pretended to be a lover but had ill intentions. This is why you're feeling out of balance. This is why you're feeling confused. You thought you knew them. Okay, how did we end up in this energy? How did the collective end up in this energy? How did the collective end up in this energy? What happened? Betrayal on the bottom. Okay, so I've got it feels Okay, so 2 cards in the reverse. We've got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and we've got the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is the energy of, it makes sense. So you're realizing that the one that you were with really didn't, and I don't want to say that. It feels, yeah, that it feels like whoever was in your energy was there for not the right reasons. That's what we'll say, okay? The Pentacles in the reverse and the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, this is somebody that doesn't want to be left out in the cold. There is the left out in the cold. They are doing everything in their power to not get left out in the cold. What is the future energy? 24 to 48 hours. What is the future energy? 24 to 48 hours. So just because this is the current energy, it doesn't mean that, all is lost, all is over, right? No. Everything happens for a reason. People come, people go for a reason. The most important part is to learn the lesson that this particular person brought into your life. Did you learn to have compassion? Did you learn to have strength to walk away? Did you learn to investigate more? Okay? There's a lot of distorted energy on that side of the board. But two things that are not distorted, the Strength card and the Proceed with Caution. The make sure you're paying attention, the looking for the signs. Those are 2 amazing things, okay? So do not discount the positive because of a or an unfortunate event. You know what I mean? There is always wisdom to be found, regardless of how it makes us feel in the moment. You can learn from that. You can learn from everything. Okay? So I'm going to probably pull just a couple of more cards. Future energy. We've got a King of Swords in the reverse, so be cautious, okay? The King of Swords in the reverse can be a not so very nice individual, okay? And when we're talking about energies, you're not necessarily talking about gender. It can be either one in the tarot. But the King of Swords is very hot-headed. Probably the type that likes to yell and stamp their feet and make a lot of noise. Wave around a big stick. That kind of thing. Is there anything else you need to know about the next 24 to 48 hours? Okay, what is the advice? Give me just a moment. Okay. So, we have 2 cards in the reverse and future energy, and I am told that these are the energies that are surrounding this King of the Swords in the reverse. Okay, so they will no longer be celebrating because you're about to find out, and they're about to lose their Ace of Cups. They are about to lose their emotional well-being, their emotional happiness, whatever it is that makes them emotionally happy, they're going to lose it. And they no longer have a reason to celebrate because of it. Okay? So, what is the advice for you? What is the advice for the collective? What is the advice for the collective? Went flying. Okay. So, use your best judgment. Pay attention, especially to your energy. Cleanse. If you feel the necessity to cleanse, cleanse. If you feel energy that is pulling on you, call it back to you. Okay? As I said earlier, yesterday, day before, whenever, time. This path is not one of sunshine and rainbows, okay? It's a difficult path. The path less traveled is the rockier path. That actually kind of makes me laugh because when I was hiking in the mountains in Washington, I went barefoot because I like being barefoot. And the path that I was on was extremely, like, it was rocks. And I had shoes, but I chose not to put them on. And the thought that was going through my head is, why are you putting yourself through this? And every single time I would tell myself is because we cannot get stronger without pain. We can't. We get strength through adversity. We have to grow. And sometimes growing leads to growing pains. People come, people go. This is how we learn about those people. This is how we learn how to protect our energy, how to help other people. Because how could I possibly help you grow if I myself have had a perfect life? If I've never seen adversity, how could I possibly help somebody who has been through hell? That is the whole point of our lives, okay? We are here to learn. We are here to grow. Growth doesn't happen in perfection. It doesn't. Complacency happens in perfection. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you have the feeling of, why does this keep happening to me? Be proud of yourself in that moment. Because this keeps happening to you because you keep doing it. You keep busting this shit out. You keep doing good. No matter how many times you've been knocked down, and you get back up. So if you keep getting hit with lessons, maybe there's something you need to learn there. But at the same time, I am reminded that it says, and this is wise, God will not give you more than you can handle. And if you keep seeing the same patterns going on in your life, there's a lesson there. And it's not just you haven't learned this lesson. This is your, like, I don't know, your profession, right? So, and I just got that in my mind. Like, you are perfecting a craft, okay? And you have an expertise in such and such. Like, let's say you've had, like, I don't know, you have overcome the attraction to the opposite sex who abuses you. But you had like 4 or 5 DVs, and you're like, I have overcome that. You're a motherfucking pro. You're an expert. You are the SME, subject matter expert on bad relationships, right? So you have perfected this craft. You are not just going through life. When you start to heal and you look back objectively at all that you have overcome, you realize that now you are the subject matter expert on that particular, hey, don't do that. That's a bad idea, right? There's a reason. And it's not necessarily that you were stubborn, right? I always tell myself that it's because I'm stubborn. But I can tell you, I know what it's like to live your life not loving yourself. And I can spot those signs a mile away. And I can help people because I have learned how to love myself. Again, how can you possibly say, I can help you fix your life if you've had a perfect life? If you don't know, you can't fucking teach it. The School of Hard Knocks is not something you learn online. It's something you live through. Okay? So, just be aware. All of these things happen for a reason. Okay? This one came out on the fence. It is a tower. So, hold on, I gotta grab my drink. Much better. Okay, so this is a free will kind of thing, okay? We cannot necessarily say that this will happen because there's always free will. And if we are talking about a third party, this is extremely important to note that you, nor the divine, has any control over someone else's free will actions, right? Everybody has free will. And if your free will is being taken away from you, that's not the divine. I am kind of a little bit of a nerd, and so the very first thing that popped into my mind was the Star Trek Federation's, like, you cannot interfere in the evolutionary process of a lower life form. Okay, so this is on the fence. There is a third party here that may or may not have a tower moment depending on their choice. And it came on the Magician in the reverse. which is exactly why I told you to be cautious, okay? So, you may be the cause of that magician in the reverse having a tower moment. Based on, because it fell on top of the moon, based on what you find out. Let's clarify this tower. Clarify the tower, please. Maybe doesn't want this message to be heard. Cut somebody off. There's somebody in your energy that you need to cut off. And if this is your message, you know exactly who that is. There's a time to give, and there's a time to cut people off. It's time to cut them off. Time for justice. You're not trapped. You're not trapped. So this Six of Swords in the reverse up here, you feel stuck. You're not trapped. I had another reading earlier, and I went on like a 5-minute rant about the fact that this person's wrapped in duct tape. Duct tape. Okay, that. I don't know if you guys ever seen Ginger Billy. I love Ginger Billy. I think he's hilarious. And he did this whole video on duct tapes, and one of his things was being able to get out of the duct tape and break free if duct tape by the wrists, and able to do it like all of them except for one. Sorry, squirrel. The energy here is clear. A romantic partner has thrown you out of balance because of lies, confusion. But you're holding on to your strength, okay? You are in this energy because you feel like you've lost your peace, which is this loss of balance as well. You feel stuck, but you are realizing, you're doing your research, and you're realizing that this supposed lover was really all about the Pentacles. So now, in the future, you are going to start holding on to your resources. You're going to start paying a little more attention. There is a standing in your fire. So this standing in your fire, the fire cleanses, it does not consume. Okay? Be cautious of the King of Swords, but don't worry, because the loss of abundance and loss of celebration is coming to him. He'll get his, okay? So this is all going to happen because you're going to find out the truth about somebody who's been doing you dirty, and like in a very underhanded way, doing you dirty. This could very well cause a tower moment, depending on the reaction. I'm feeling like it's the reaction of the reaction of the King of Swords. This is a third party energy. So there may be an absolute tower moment for this King of Swords when he loses his emotional well-being and his celebrating. And it's time for you to cut this person off because you're no longer trapped. And that little ding dong was my guests arriving. So I hope you guys have a great night, and bye bye.